I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Zwicker? Ms. Breyer?
Here.
Mr. Prince?
Here.
Mr. Person?
Here.
Ms. Palmer?
Here.
Mr. Corman?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor. One absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Corman.
I move the absent council member be excused. Second.
Been moved by Mr. Corman, seconded by Mr. Person, that council members Zwicker be excused. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We have a couple of proclamations.
Proclamation, Farmers Market Week. Whereas Washington's farmers make an essential contribution to our local communities and to the well-being of our citizens, and whereas the Renton Farmers Market at the Piazza is celebrating its 11th year of operation, open each Tuesday until September 27th from 3 to 7 p.m. in Renton's beautiful downtown Piazza Park. And whereas the Farmers Market program in Renton has expanded with the addition of the Farmers Market at Valley Medical Center, which emphasizes health and wellness and is open each Sunday until September 16th from 12 to 4 p.m. And whereas the Farmers Market program in Renton is dedicated to supporting Washington's family farms and to providing opportunities for the citizens of Renton and surrounding communities to meet local producers and gain access to the bounty of Washington-grown products in all of their diversity, fresh from the family farm. And whereas the farmers markets at the Piazza and Valley Medical Center benefit local businesses and contribute to economic vitality by attracting thousands of potential patrons each week. And whereas the farmers market benefit those in need by providing donations to the local food bank. And whereas the congenial atmosphere of the farmers market in Renton appeal to citizens of all ages and ethnic backgrounds, create a positive social experience, and provide nutritional and economic benefits, now therefore I, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim the week of August 5th through 11th, 2012, to be Farmers Market Week in the City of Renton, and I urge all citizens to join me in recognizing the many benefits from our local farmers market. In witness whereof, I've hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 6th day of August 2012, signed Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Breyer.
I move that council concur with the proclamation.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Breyer, seconded by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the proclamation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And Valeria Lopez is here to receive these.
Thank you, Mayor Law and council members. I want to acknowledge the fabulous volunteers and Piazza Group. Unfortunately, nobody from Valley could be here tonight, but we'll make sure they get theirs, and the City of Renton for supporting and this fabulous farmers market and all of the benefits for the citizens of Renton.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Valeria, and thanks for the great work you do at the market every week. We appreciate it.
We do a quick picture with it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Uh-huh.
I think it may be one of these we'll bring you
And
together.
with the council too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ed.
I know. Hey, you can come a little bit this way. There. Come on it.
We okay?
You let me scooch in here.
How are you?
You will. And I won't goose you.
I appreciate it.
At least the first
Not
shot.
this time, yeah.
And big
Sure, the second
smiles.
one.
Very
No
nice.
guarantees with thought.
Good. All right, thank you very much.
Trying to make you smile nice.
Well, but I've learned that I just can't leave
Ready to try? See you tomorrow at the market.
We do want to really thank our our Piazza volunteers. They make a big difference in this market, so thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thanks.
Okay, Bonnie?
Okay, proclamation, National Night Out 2012. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch, NATW, and Target Corporation are sponsoring a nationwide unique crime, drug, and violence prevention program on August 7, 2012, entitled National Night Out, and whereas the 29th annual National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the City of Renton to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts. And whereas the City of Renton plays a vital role in assisting the Renton Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in the community and is supporting National Night Out locally. And whereas it is essential that all citizens of the City of Renton be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in the community. And whereas police community partnerships, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out program, now therefore I, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim August 7th, 2012 to be National Night Out 2012 in the City of Renton, and I encourage all citizens to help give crime and drugs a going-away party by participating in a 29th annual National Night Out event. In witness whereof, I've hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 6th day of August 2012, signed Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms.
I
Breyer.
move that council concur with this proclamation.
Second.
Voice.
It's been moved by Ms. Breyer, seconded by Mr. Prince, that council concur with this proclamation. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It's my pleasure to present this to our Crime Prevention Coordinator, Cindy Parks.
Just wanted to say a quick thank you to council again, and of course, Mayor Law. This is a great event. I have so much fun planning it. I was trying to figure out why I was so much more relaxed this year. A few of the council people, when they would ask me at the picnics, are you excited for National Night Out? And I must have not acted interested. I'm very interested, but I figured it out. And Rich isn't here for me to brag about it too. But I think I learned the fine art of delegating, because I'm so much more relaxed this year because I've been delegating. I thought that's what delegation is. So I wanted to say thank you. This is always a very much supported event. It's going to be our 5th year actually holding the large city event. It's gone by really fast. I could not do this without the help of community services and our community members like Celebration Church, and with the support of my chain of command, and my name might be here and there on the event, but there's no way I could do this without all of their help. So I wanted to express my thanks for that. And I'm not real great about talking about awards and stuff, but I was encouraged to inform you guys that we've actually received an award in our category every single year that we've started doing the large city event. And it's through a nationwide program called National Association of Town Watch. And the last 2 years, we've been the only Washington Police Department that's placed in that category. So I'm very proud about that, because more so because of all the people that put so much work into this. And I know a lot of you go, and it's so fun to see you there. And just wanted to say thank you very much. And I look forward to tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy, and thanks for all the hard work you put into it every year. And Council, Cindy has a list of all the different neighborhood groups that will be hosting events tomorrow, so if you want those so you can attend.
Right.
Okay, next we get to move on to a special presentation, Fire and Emergency Services, Chief Peterson.
Members of the council, Mark Peterson, Fire Chief, Emergency Services Coordinator. I'd like to invite up Justice Svensson, please. Justice? Would you stand right there? This is one of the thrills of my job, is to recognize people that really go out and above what they needed to do. And I just have something I want to read to you tonight. On June 12th, 2012 at about 9 o'clock at night, you heard, Justice, faint cries for help from across the ravine by your home, and you knew what to do. You immediately told your father, Tyler, what you had heard. He quickly responded and found a 65-year-old woman, Phyllis, slumped over in the side yard of her home, where she had been since 10:30 that morning. Your father called 911 and guided the responding aid unit to where Phyllis was laying. She had suffered a severe stroke. And in June, at that time, June 12th, we were still experiencing winter, so we had really cool temperatures in the evening time. And she had been not only suffering from the effects of a stroke, but she was also becoming hypothermic. The responding EMTs and firefighters feel that your actions contributed greatly to saving Phyllis's life that night. Had you not heard her calls, or had you not gone to your father, Phyllis probably would have died that night. And Justice, I am very pleased to give you this award tonight that shows my appreciation for what you did and the responsibility you took. And so again, Justice, thank you very much for your efforts.
Wow.
Okay.
Way to go, Justin.
Could I get the members of the council and the mayor to have a picture with Justice?
Sure.
It doesn't want to hold it.
Come on up.
Yeah?
Yes.
Very nice. All right, big smiles, everybody. Very nice. He looks a little nervous, but big smile. There it is. Okay.
Again, it's my pleasure to introduce to you citizens of our community that make a real difference, and Justice made a real difference that evening. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Right. Okay, we're moving on to audience comment. We have several people who've signed up to address the council. When I call your name, please come up to the podium, give your name and city of residence for the record, and you have 5 minutes. Brooke Lindquist.
Hi, my name is Brooke Lindquist. I live in Renton. We are new homeowners up in the Glencoe neighborhood. And I know the waste management strike has been no fun for everybody, but I'm here to complain that our garbage did get picked up, thank gosh, I really appreciate that. But our recycling has not been picked up, and it's gonna be approximately 4 weeks before we get recycling. I've noticed that on the website and with calling Waste Management, calling the mayor's office, that the rest of Renton is being picked up. We're not being picked up for 4 weeks. I just think there's an inequity there that I'd like the council to address and to figure out what we can do. I have so much recycling. We're having a big housewarming. We're excited to be Renton residents in the Glencoe neighborhood. We're just looking forward to it, but I'm gonna have so much recycling after the end of the weekend, and it's been 4 weeks. Other neighborhoods aren't having to deal with that. So I just wanna know why the Highlands is being left out. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brooke. And Brooke, if you get a chance, could you talk to Greg Zimmerman, who's in the back of the room?
Yeah.
Because it seems like that's an awful long period of time, and maybe we can address your address.
Great.
And
Thank you, Retta.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Kerman.
since you brought the topic up, I did want to say, I thought it was funny that my daughter pointed out to me that Waste Management picked up the trash. But of course, we put all our food waste. We've been trained by Waste Management to put that into the yard waste. And so it's like they come around and pick up the styrofoam and the plastic.
But not the smelly
But didn't
stuff.
pick up all the smelly stuff. Hopefully their next strike won't be for a long time, but my feedback would be to focus on that next time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Oh, yes,
This
Mr.
is
Brisson.
they haven't picked it up on Renton Hill either. The yard waste is, at least when I came
It's-
down here, they
Whatever
haven't.
your next scheduled pickup date would have been is when they're gonna pick it up, but it shouldn't be 4 weeks.
That was today.
So, okay. Next is Howard McComber.
Howard McComber, the Renton Highlands.
our garbage situation is exactly the same as hers, which I think is the same as yours. And you know, I think
Mine.
it's nice that we got that one over so quickly, because even though it's a little, it could have been awful, and it wasn't awful, and we lived through this one. I came tonight to discuss Highlands. This is my number one thing, because this is where I live, and we have some proposals that are starting through this city. They were kind enough to give me copies, and I need to chat with you just briefly on just a beginning thought here. First of all, the Highlands in Renton is the best kept secret for affordable housing in Western Washington. We have everything there. It's really an exciting place, but we have three things which are really special there. Number one, we've got creativity. There's a lot of, you drive through the Highlands, there's all kinds of different creative things going on, different kinds of houses, different kinds of developments, and this is wonderful. We like being creative there in the Highlands. We like solving problems unique ways, and so I think it's important to keep a certain amount of flexibility. Number two, we have a long-standing situation here. We've been built for a long time. Actually, I think I'm older than some of the housing. But we have a lot of housing that's running me, a close second, and it's we have a lot of duplexes which are affordable housing. We wipe out the duplexes, we wipe out the houses, we wipe out affordable housing. We cannot build new housing that will replace that housing for those people. They'll be gone. So we're trying to keep Renton Highlands for Renton Highland guys like me who live there. We want to keep that just as it comes. So they gave me some stuff. I appreciate giving me the update so I could take a look. They said, hey, Howard, take a look at this, see what you think. Give us your comments and give us your ideas and stuff. And so I will be doing that in writing, and I'll be sending this out. But I just want you to know that our Highlands are a little different than maybe some of the other parts of the town. We're older, we're more affordable, we need more creativity, we need more flexibility, we need to just work in cooperation with everybody. That's how we win. We're going to have a great cooperative effort. I believe that Highlands are going to stay the best bang for the buck in housing here. We're not going to turn into Bellevue. As a matter of fact, we don't want it.
No.
We're just really happy to be Highlands. And so with that little bit, we'll be back in touch, get you some stuff in writing, and just so we have a discussion and we can work out the best solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Howard.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, Howard, thank you for bringing that to our attention. And, even though you are older than some of the homes there, that makes you a classic with a lot of old world charm.
Okay, next is Beatrice Clark.
Good afternoon. My name is Beatrice Clark, C-L-A-R-K. C-L-A-R-K. I'm repeating it twice because it seems somewhere along the line that my name has gotten kind of mixed up. I'm here tonight to, what I would like for my topic to be titled for the record. I'm here to discuss racial profiling by email/emailing while black. The first time I appeared before you was December 12th, and I brought you issues of racism and discrimination in the King County library systems, the agency that you are doing multi-million-dollar business with. I brought those concerns here. After I left that meeting, I Googled on the internet City Council to see what other things were going on in City Council, and a blog from '07 from Councilman Randy Corman, the gentleman in the white shirt there. And going over his blog, he was writing, it was the same as it is now, it was election time. And he was commenting on letters that had came into the news media, and in those letters were a couple of my letters. And in that blog, he had commented on one of my letters, that something about my letter was ironic. And I sent him an email on January 9th. And I just inquired about the email, like, what did you mean, expand on it, because in his column, he had asked for comments, and that's what I did. He responded back the next day, January 10th. He sent me a very polite, cordial email and explained it to me, and he said, "Best wishes, Randy." That I thought was the end of it. Actually, I didn't think any more about it. But lo and behold, I did a records request last month in July, and that email surfaced from the desk of Mayor Dennis Law. And that email, the same email that I sent Mr. Corman, it was a very innocent email, and it said, "Hello, Randy," and basically I just want some input about what you meant by my letter being ironic, since I'll be coming back before you to discuss these issues further. It resurfaced in the public records request that I made last month because I had sent it to all the council members and also to you, Mayor Dennis. Within 15 minutes of reception, he received it at 2:41. No, I sent it at 2:41. He received it at 2:42 on that date. And he looked at it, I guess, and he put FYI and sent it to the administrative assistant, Mr. J. Covington. In a matter of minutes, he sent it under the subject line, Randy Corman's 07 blog, but when it got to Mr. Covington's desk, he changed the subject to information for your files in a matter of minutes. And he sent that email to the City Attorney General, Larry Warren, regarding information for your files. So I'm kind of wondering what kind of information for your files is entailed in an email that is sent to a council member. I understand that all the emails that come in, any kind of correspondence that comes in is considered public record. So how is my email getting such special attention? I said in my mind, hey, this is Homeland Security status. Going to the city attorney, he has no jurisdiction over citizens. His job is to handle legal issues with the city. And unless my email was somehow inflammatory, somehow illegal, I see no reason why it was put in his hands. But the clincher was, and what I found so extremely contemptible about their flagrant misuse and abuse of their power, is that when I did get these emails back last month, they had the unmitigated gall to send it to me redacted. Their comments are crossed out with a black marker, and they have used client-attorney privilege to cover this. I don't know where client-attorney privilege fits in. I am a citizen of America. The council members are the only people whose job description I have read that has interaction with the public. They represent our interest. I am a citizen, so Mr. Corman is my councilman. I have a right to send him any kind of correspondence without it going into the hands of the city attorney. And I was very insulted that they would use a legal RCW code to cover what I call their hot mic backstreet gossip, because there's nothing in here of merit or value concerning me.
Excuse me, Ms. Clark, just for a second. And council, if you don't have any objections, we'll extend her.
Oh, please, yeah.
speaking.
No.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry to
Thank you,
interrupt.
thank you. And I'm here tonight to let you know that I don't appreciate how you have handled this, because I know for a fact, and I don't even have to be a member of the council, that when emails come in, correspondence, they don't go through this process, and I would be like having my head in the sand and doing what President Obama said, falling for the okie doke, if I was to believe this is proper procedure. And by that having happened, I said that email would have to have been some kind of a threat to the city council, or have some kind of illegal ramifications, in which case my due process would have been denied, because no one has contacted me and given me that information. But in my opinion, I feel that a malfeasance has been committed, because they stepped outside of the boundaries of policy and procedures that govern communication that comes to City Hall, that your internet and information gives as being public records. And aside from that, I want to give to the clerk an additional request, because when they put attorney-client as their reason to cover their comments, whatever they may say. They did not give a reason, and the RCW states that not only is that sufficient, but refusing inspection of any public record shall include a statement of the specific exemption authorizing the withholding of the record and a brief explanation of how the exemption applies to the records withheld. I'm requesting that information. And I plan to get to the bottom of this and find out what it is that they have redacted, how they have set themselves up as a client attorney, privilege over information that I have sent to the city council. And there are other issues that I will be bringing back to the council, because this has got to stop. When you single a person out, if you don't know what racial profiling is, it's when you single somebody out based on something indigenous to them, whether it's their race, their religion, or whatever. So the only reason, the only thing you could have singled me out for is my race, because you don't know anything about me. I don't have any connections with the city. I don't have any cases with the city. I don't have any reason, you don't have any reason to say this email is special and it deserves special attention. And I believe that is the end of my comment. Oh, I do want to say something. I have quoted Martin Luther King. I have quoted Maya Angelou. And tonight I just kind of want to step outside of my character and say, FYI, I don't give a rat's behind about your files. So whatever, and whoever set the files up, I just want them held accountable for their actions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Clark.
Yeah, Ms. Clark, I do want to say I appreciated our polite email exchange, and I was unaware that that got routed anywhere else. I thought, I just got your email, and I appreciated you bringing your question to my attention, and I appreciated being able to respond. So.
I just don't understand this other stuff.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. We have 17 items.
Oh,
on-
I'm sorry.
We have 17 items on the consent agenda for council consideration. Are there any items a council member would like pulled for discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move
Mr. Corman.
approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and second to approve the consent agenda. I want to have a little discussion on the recommendation on item D.
D?
Which is on the consent agenda as refer to committee of the whole. We had been instructed to make that a council concur item, and somehow it became a committee of the whole request. So I'd like to do what the council would like done, if you'd
Mr.
like that.
Mayor?
Yes, Ms. Breyer.
I'd like to move that it go to council concur.
Okay, so can you pull it from the agenda, and then we'll act on that?
Okay. I'd like to pull item D.
Okay, it's, did I have a motion?
Yeah, so I'll accept that as a friendly amendment to the motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Corman, seconded by Ms. Breyer, that council concur with the consent agenda minus item D. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Ms.
Mr.
Breyer?
Mayor- Yeah, Mr. Mayor, in committee of the whole in the past, we went over the council policy and procedure, the order of business and preparation, and it doesn't really need to come back to committee of the whole. I think the changes have already been established that that's what we want. So I'd like to move that council concur with this motion
Second.
rather than committee of the whole.
Okay, it's been moved by Ms. Breyer, seconded by Mr. Person, that council concur with item D of the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, I
Corman.
just want to say, I'll reluctantly go along with this. I'll treat it like an experiment. I don't want to see citizens feeling like they're getting cut off frequently at the podium, so,
You can always change it.
right, we can always change it, so willing to give it a try under those.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor?
yes, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I am reluctant to go along with it. And as I gave it more thought, and for the folks at home that don't know what we're talking about doing, essentially what we're talking about doing is reducing our audience comment period. We have two of them The first one is for 30 minutes, and it allows residents to address the council for 5 minutes. And then we have a second one at the end of our meeting. And what we're talking about doing here is to reduce the first audience comment time allotment to 3 minutes, but to take away the 30-minute restriction on it, and to eliminate the second audience comment period. Now, I'm reluctant to doing that, and the reason that I am, and I gave it some thought when it was first proposed at our last committee of the whole meeting that we discussed this item on. To me, it took away an opportunity for our residents to address the council. That's important to me because that's how I like to be informed, aside from my other contacts with the community out in the public. But the other thing that I thought about as an afterthought after that meeting was that with our population being as diverse as it is, with the 87 odd languages that we have in our school districts, and we're a minority majority population now, with 51% of our population being people of color. I look at the interpretation services that we have to provide in our courts as people go in to take care of their court issues. I begin to become concerned that limiting the amount of time that our residents can address the council is it creates an inequity for people that may not be as adept. And we had that conversation also. Everyone can't articulate their thoughts quickly in a way that concisely tells us what they want us to know. And then the other side of that is that during the course of a council meeting, sometimes information is discussed here on the dais among us council members, or someone else may come up and bring it to view that stimulates a different thought by an individual who may have already spoken. So for those reasons, I'm very reluctant to go along with reducing the opportunities for our residents to address the council. We only do this once a week. We don't usually have a packed house of individuals who do this. I made a comment that I viewed this policy change as a problem in search of a solution, or a solution in search of a problem. I didn't see that there really was a problem to begin with, excuse me. So for that reason, I'm going to decline to vote for this.
Okay, and just set the record straight for you, Mr. Taylor. The council and the deliberations had decided to reduce the first audience comment to 3 minutes, with the understanding that, as always, you can extend the speaker's time, as we did tonight for Ms. Clark, and that we would have a second audience comment with the general time period of being 2 minutes, and trying to encourage new topics, but with flexibility.
Well, thank you for that correction, Mr. Mayor. And I was under the impression that it was going to go back into committee and we would have additional time to kind of hammer it out. So I lost that detail, and thank you for pointing that out to me. Okay. But nonetheless, the end effect of this vote would collectively, the first and the second audience comment period, reduce the opportunity for residents to communicate to the council, and for that reason that I can't go along with it.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Carmen.
Yeah, I just want to say, I understand Mr. Taylor's concerns. In fact, I shared some of them when we discussed this, and for me, the fact that we're giving a total of 5 minutes broken over the 2 sessions to any speaker that really needs to come back and talk to us again semi-resolves that. The other thing I think that's important to point out is when we deliberated on this before in the committee of the whole, we did talk about the fact that we should extend the time if anybody is at the podium and they're struggling, or they get confused, or their notes get askew and they need more time. We really need to be prepared to provide that to them. Yeah. So, but again, it's an experiment, and I respect Mr. Taylor's position on that.
And I would add to, the idea that we subjectively could extend time is great, and we do have a history of doing that for any and everyone. However, when we start talking about making policy changes, we're not going to be the same council sitting up here, indefinitely. And so, as we set policies, what I'm always interested in is making sure that those policies outlive the people that are sitting here now, so that there's no subjectivity, from a different council at a different time. So.
Okay, Any
Mr.
further
Mayor?
discussion, Mr. Person?
My only comment on that is that any council can change the policy, any council policy at any time with a majority vote.
Our current.
Call for the question.
Okay, it's
Mr.
been
Mayor?
moved in second. Yes.
Bonnie Walton, City Clerk. I just wanted to make one clarification. I had spoken with the Chief Administrative Officer, Jay Covington, inquired on this, that fact that the time for public hearings, public meetings is also an audience comment, and I believe that had not been part of the prior discussion. Therefore, that was, I believe, some of the reason why it was put down as committee of the whole, is to complete that discussion. And if indeed council chooses to discuss that tonight, I would ask for clarification on
right.
that point as to what indeed they would like.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Carmen.
I would like to propose that that remain unchanged at this point.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
Okay.
agree.
Second.
All right, so any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to unfinished business. Ms. Breyer?
Yes, the Finance Committee has one report.
Finance Committee report, approval of claims and payroll vouchers. The Finance Committee approves for payment on August 6, 2012, claim vouchers 313-559 through 313-877, 2 wire transfers and 1 payroll run with benefit withholding payments totaling $5,310,757.11, and payroll vouchers include 850 direct deposits and 113 payroll checks totaling $1,706,041.05. This is signed by the 3 committee members.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Ms.
I
Breyer.
move that council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Breyer, second by Mr. Taylor, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, Mr. Prince.
No unfinished business, Mr.
Okay, Mr. Person.
No unfinished business.
Ms. Palmer.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
And Mr. Furman.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
And Mr. Taylor.
No old business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Moving on to resolutions and ordinances, we have 2 resolutions.
The first resolution, a resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, adopting the 2013 through 2018 business plan.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Ms.
I
Breyer.
move that council concur with this resolution.
Second.
Been moved by Ms. Breyer, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And the second and final resolution regards emergency measures for repair. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, declaring an emergency for the purpose of repairing a water main at the West Hill Pump Station.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
I move that this resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Taylor, seconded by Mr. Prince, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. And thank you, since we've already done it. All right, new business. Ms. Breyer.
Yes, gosh, I don't have anything. What can I say? I'd like to just make a comment if I could. A couple of weeks ago, we had at Committee of the Whole a discussion on council members' communications. And I was just a little distressed to hear, Randy, on the news yesterday on Cairo Radio, some quotes that you made about the library that made it appear that they were from the city council, and yet they weren't things that we have discussed in detail. One was, one of the comments had to do with the fact that there was sufficient money, and money was not a problem with either of the library issues coming up, funding those. And they also talked about the fact that you already assumed that it was going to be, which side was going to win. And they quoted you, it was actually your voice on there doing it. And that was one of the things I think I had brought up specifically, was that when election type things were going on, I didn't feel that it was appropriate to do it under the name of a council member.
Okay.
And that's exactly how they quoted you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Corman.
well, I appreciate Ms. Breyer bringing that up so that I'd have a chance to address that. First of all, I didn't realize that interview ever aired. It actually wasn't a live interview. There is a campaign, and you're probably aware, I'm a member of that campaign. And I phoned the radio when asked by somebody to organize the campaign. And it was an off-air interview. And I promise you, I hastened to say at the very beginning that I was only speaking for myself, that I could not speak as for the body, that I was a member of the campaign. I gave that whole disclaimer.
They just said none of that. And at the end, they, announced that you were a Renton City Council member.
Beyond that, I guess I feel like I did what I could. That I understand from the Public Disclosure Commission that if our titles get used in the context of campaign information, our title is something that can't get used up. It's not a city resource that gets expended like stamps or a copy machine. I do agree with the point that it's important that people know that we're speaking for ourselves, not the council. But, with the media, all I could do was just tell them repeatedly that that's who I was speaking for, and if they chose to leave that out, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted you to be aware of it. They played it Sunday several times during the Seafair race coverage, as they talked about the upcoming election, and it just upset me
Sure.
because it wasn't anything that we've even voted on, especially like the financial impact of it, with budgets just coming up. So I just thought it was
Okay.
kind of
I'm
inappropriate.
sorry to upset you.
Okay.
That's it.
Mr. Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we have a Planning and Development Committee meeting this Thursday, August 9th at 3 o'clock in Council Conference Room. We'll be discussing 3 items: owner-occupied and rental housing incentive programs, multifamily housing property tax exemption programs, and Title IV Docket 8. And that is all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Person.
No new business.
Okay, Ms. Palmer.
Yes, next Monday, August 13th, the Community Services Committee will meet at 4:30 in the council conference room. And there's one item on the agenda, but I don't think, it's an appointment to the library, the Renton Library Board.
Advisory board.
Advisory board.
Advisory. This says King
Oh.
Library Board appointment. We don't get to do that here. So yes, it's
The Renton Library Advisory
the
Board.
Renton Advisory Library Board. And that's it, 4:30.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Corman.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to announce a Transportation Committee meeting for August 9th, Thursday, at 4 o'clock p.m., and it's in the council conference room. There are 4 items on that agenda. First is interlocal agreement with the State Department of Enterprise Services for LED streetlights. Second item is utilities cooperation agreement with King County Water District Number 90 for Northeast 3rd, 4th Street Corridor Improvement Project. Third item is emerging issues in transportation. And the fourth item is 2012 to 2018 6-year transportation improvement program and arterial street plan update. Should be a good meeting.
Yeah, okay.
And then on behalf of Mr. Zwicker, who couldn't be with us tonight, I'd like to announce a committee of the whole meeting for 5:30 p.m. on Monday, August 13th. And in that meeting, it'll be held in the council chambers, and be community services update and emerging issues. Actually, do we want to check on that council chambers? Should we just plan that, or normally, often we'll do emerging issues in the conferencing center.
We usually do, don't we?
I think you can pick, I don't know that there's a reason to have it in the council chambers.
Yeah. In keeping with where we usually cover emerging issues, I'll suggest the conferencing center for that meeting. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Corman. Mr. Taylor.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Utilities Committee will be meeting on August the 13th, 4:45 p.m., and we will be meeting in the council conference room discussing the 2012 water system plan update. Also, I'd like to just share with the council that I had an opportunity to participated in an event several weeks ago on our vacation. North Code Development, Dr. Don Shorter, you've met him here before, he put together a program called Future Aviators. And he had a partnership with BIFA, the Boeing Employees Flying Association, and the whole idea was to identify kids who had an interest in either flying or being an air traffic controller, and to provide an entree of coming to the airport, having a tour of the tower, going up for a flight with some private aircraft pilots. And they gave the kids some other handouts also, but it was a wonderful idea, and he completely underwrote that all on his own. I wanted to bring that to your attention because as Boeing continues its work, you know, and in terms of, you know, the aerospace training facility that we've got coming here, there are other people also throughout our community who are trying to figure out ways to capitalize on some of the future job opportunities that are going to be developed. And I understand that there's going to be some air traffic controller positions that are going to be coming forth sometime in the near future. So he's going to be doing it again next year. I've invited him to come to the council and share it so that any other kids in our community who are interested in and possibly getting involved in that, getting on the trajectory that can help to support them in that type of career opportunity. Again, that was Dr. Don Shorter and North Code Development, Young Aviators. That is all.
Thanks, Mr. Taylor. Okay, is there anybody who would like to address the council before we adjourn? The wish of the council?
Move we adjourn?
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Person, seconded by Mr. Prince, that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.